Hi guys! So here is one spontaneous video as I've just been inspired by one of my students who gave me the most perfect feedback. Why was it perfect and why was it feedback and why am I going to talk about feedback today? Before we move on to that story, let me just break it down for you. Feedback, if you take a look, it contains of the verb feed and back. So to feed means to give food, to give input, to give something back. I find feedback in general so important and so valuable. And by the way, this is one of my favorite words, valuable. I value that a lot because whatever you hear back as opinion or any kind of reaction from your client, from your customers, from people who take your service or consume your product, whatever comes back to you is highly valuable. Because you know whether they liked it, whether it was successful, how effective that was, stuff like that. Why? So you can always improve it. You can keep working on it, you can improve it, you can keep up the good work, or you can make it even better, bring it to the next level. So that's why it's valuable, because it comes from the user, from the consumer. To value is something that you really appreciate and you welcome that. And we also have the adjective as a word form, which is okay, I already said adjective, so it's valuable. And we have the ultimate noun, which is value, okay, as a noun. So if something has value to you, if you have received something that you find valuable, you might as well give a feedback on it. Even if you're like dissatisfied or fully satisfied, give feedback again. So the person could know how to handle it. So the feedback I was given by my student was literally like this. Thank you, Lana. I just wanted to tell you that not only my English has improved and upgraded, but also my mother tongue, so my first language, which is Croatian for him, has also expanded, and I have become more aware about how I talk, how I communicate. I have become more selective on which words I use, and I have become more aware of the impact I have, not only in English, because he was here for English training, but also in his mother tongue as well. Mother tongue is our first language, right? So this is something you were born into the culture, and you kind of spontaneously and naturally picked it up and learned to communicate in that language. So, having said that, so his own progress, his own effect, his own benefit and improvement is like directly, indirectly, related to me. So he did not have to necessarily talk about, like my qualities or my teaching style, my methods. No, it's the outcome, like the ultimate outcome that matters. So having achieved that, obviously, I work with him in an effective way. So this was the perfect feedback, and I decided to shoot a video on that. Why? Feedback is very important in any kind of relationship, any kind of cooperation, in private life, in feedback, in business, in anything, because actually it brings forth this two-direction communication. You have feeling and you have proof that you have been heard and that the person responds back. As I said at the beginning, feedback technically is information about reactions to a product or person's performance of a task. So performance is one of my favorite words. It means like how well or not well you did something, you performed something, how well you did a task, how well you have done it. And this is used as a basis for improvement. So this is any kind of statement or opinions about as a product, whether it was successful, if you liked it. For example, we have received a lot of positive feedback about our latest version of the product, or about our latest book. So this is something you're after. Also, you can gain his statement. For example, the president's statement gained negative criticism, negative feedback. So, and then you go check it out. What exactly people are complaining about. So these are some examples. Another thing that I love teaching, actually coaching my students, especially managers who are on the sales side of things, and they are on, business, customer care, business development, customer care side of things. What they want to establish is this two-direction communication from their clients. And feedback is something I always point out as highly valuable for them. I always say, don't be afraid to receive the feedback, even if it's negative, even if it's a form of a complaint letter. So this is another form, like it can be like letter of complaint. It can be like a claim, this is also feedback. And just go examine that, check it out. You might come across some really valuable pieces of advice, some information that can be very helpful in building your business further, in establishing even better relationships with your clients. Now, on this channel, like in this whole teaching of mine about empowering yourself in English, I'm all about communication that is responsible, that is impactful, that builds bridges and establishes relationships. So don't be afraid to receive feedback. If you have sent something out, be willing to receive back, the information from the other side. Even if it's complaint letter, or if it's a positive review is another word. Sometimes you go to theater or cinema, or then you have review of the performance, review of the movie. So this is also some kind of feedback, I'm always for and actually as long as this is constructive feedback, you don't want to devalue things, which brings us back to our initial set of words, valuable to value. You don't want to devalue anybody's work, anybody's effort. And I think this is the bottom line in giving feedback. You have to train yourself into how to give it. So first of all, you don't want to crash spirits. You don't want to devalue anybody's work. You want to be as supportive, to give as much support and help as possible. You want to be as encouraging. Encouraging is one of the superpower words. So to encourage means to give courage to somebody, give support, to help them out. You want to encourage them. You want to actually help them evolve by giving your feedback. So feedback is not just a word in English. Actually, even in Croatian, in my first language, in my mother tongue, we don't even translate this word. We don't commonly translate, we just leave it as a feedback, So this is a skill. It's a mindset of practicing this. In doing so, the attitude has to be right. So you want to be as encouraging as possible, supportive as possible. You want to, you have to be willing, and you want to help people evolve, businesses evolve. And for me, that should be always the core, the main reason of you giving your feedback to someone. If you want to break them down, if you want to devalue, if you want to diminish their work, I find it actually mean and malicious, because I've seen it around. And I train myself into this skill, because sometimes you get angry, sometimes you're pissed off, when something is not done properly, and your feedback is basically don't do that, why are you doing this way? But you have to control yourself and go into the skill and use that skill to control your words, to control your approach to the other person, and to communicate your feedback in a way that's not destructive, that's not hurtful, that's not disrespectful, and you actually do achieve your goal, which is improving something or giving a compliment. So you are going for that. It's just the way how you do it, you know, the energy, the vibe, the words selected. Now that's a skill. That's why I'm so grateful. You know, I appreciate the feedback I received today. It means the world to me, and I'm inspired even more to talk about this and to raise your awareness about the skill of receiving and giving feedback. Thanks, bye.